Hello everyone, we're going to start for the text tree. Identify device on the network on the Try Hack Me. So let's open here. To communicate and maintain order, device must be both identified and identifiable on network. What use is if you want to know how you were talking to the end of the day. Devices on the network are very similar to humans in the fact that we can have two ways to begin and identify your name and fingertips. Now we can change your name through deep pull, but we can, however, change your fingertips. Every human has an individual set of fingertips, which means that if they change their names, there's still an identifier behind it. Devices have the same thing to mean of identifying with one of being permanent. This word is a little bit difficult. I have to learn it more. So these are an IP address, an immediate access control MAC address. Think of this as being similar as serial number. IP address. Briefly, an IP address or Internet Protocol address can be used as a way to identify the host on a network or for a period of time, where the IP address can then be associated with another device without an IP address changing. First, let's split precisely what an IP address is in the diagram below. So here's the IP. An IP address is a set of numbers that are divided into 4 octets, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The value of each octet will be summed to be an IP address of the device on the network. This number is calculated through the techniques known as IP address and subnetting. But that is another day. Okay. What is important to understand where is the IP address can change from device to device, but cannot be active simultaneous more than once with the same network. IP address follows the set of standards known as protocols. These protocols are the backbones of the network and force many devices to communicate in the same language, which is something that we will come onto that another time. So, like they say, I'm just reading, guys, so whatever. We all should recall that device can be both private and public network. Depending on where they are will determine the type of IP address. They have a public network or private IP address. A public address is used to identify the device on the internet. Areas of private address is used to identify a device amongst other devices. Take the table and the screenshot below as the example. Here we have 2 devices on the private network. Yeah, here you have the IP and the same 2 here, and the same device name, and private and public, like we say here. So this is the example, like, let me show you here. Okay, let's see. These 2 devices will be able to use their private IP address to communicate with each other. However, any data sent to internet from either of those devices will be defined by the same public IP address. Public IP address are given by your internet service provider or ESP. At monthly fee, your bill. You have to pay it. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to say anything. As more and more devices become connected, it is become increasingly harder to get a public address that isn't already used. For example, Cisco, an industrial giant in the world of network, estimate that will be approximately 50 billion devices connected on the internet by the end of 2021. Cisco, you can see you can open, you can go join yourself, try HackMe, and you can see it. But let me show you what you're gonna find. So I'm not gonna read all those things, but I already did it. So I'm gonna come here again. Let me. Okay. Enter IP address version. So far, we have only discussed one version of the Internet Protocol addressing scheme, known as IPv4, which is used numbering systems. I don't know how to say this name. Sorry, guys, in English. Sorry. Read it to, I don't know, IP address for 4.22 billions. So you can see why there is much storage. I'm gonna learn to say this in English. Sorry, guys. IPv6 is a new interaction for the Internet Protocol addressing scheme to help tackling this issue. Although it seeming more doubting is both a few benefits. Supports up to this number again, up to, I don't know, 128 of IP address. That means 340 trillions plus, resolving the issues facing in the IPv4. More efficient to the new methodologies. Screenshot below compares the IPv6 and the IPv4 address. You can see the difference. So MAC address, that's, let's see what they say, okay? I'm trying not to say anything. Devices on the network will all have a physical network interface, which is the microchip board found on the device motherboard. Its network interface is assigned a unique address at the factory. It was built at the called MAC, Media Access Control address. The MAC address is the 12-character hexadecimal number as the base system number system used in computer to represent a number. Split in two and separated by a colon. These colons are considered separators. For example, we have this here. The first 6 characters represent the company that made the network interface, and the last 6 is the unique number. Super. Okay. This corresponds to here, and this is the. Let me see. Let me see if I'm not going to tell you. Okay. Key. The vendor who build the network interface is this instance Intel here. And the unique address on the network interface we have in here. So, however, an interesting thing with MAC address is that they can be faked or spoofed. Is a process known as spoofing. This spoofing occurs when the network device pretends to identify another using its MAC address. When it occurs, it can be often break poorly implemented secure designs, and that assumes that device talking on the network are trustworthy. Take the following scenario. A firewall is configured to allow any communications going to and from MAC address of the administrator. If the device is here to pretend or spoof this MAC address, the firewall will now think that is the receiving communication from the administrator when it is not. Places such as cafes, coffee shops, and hotels, unlike often use MAC address control when use the guest or public Wi-Fi. This configuration could offer better service, a faster connection for price if you are willing to pay a few for devices. per device. The interactive lab adapted to this task has been made to replicate this scenario practical. I have here the interaction lab simultaneous in a hotel Wi-Fi network where when you have to pay for the service, you will not, the router is not allowed Bob packet blue to try Hackme website and is placing them into the bin. But Alice Packets Grimm are going to fine because she was paying for Wi-Fi try, change the Bob MAC address to the same as Alice, and you see what happens. Deploy the iterative and labs and process the answers to follow questions below. Let's go here and view the site. Can he have Alice? Here we have. So I'm gonna make this really cozy and see it. I'm gonna copy. Let me see if I can copy. Control E. Oops. Let me see if I can not make it. Nope, don't let me see if I can see it. It make a request. Okay, this is your answer. Copy. I like to do it like that. Sorry, guys. Now we're gonna. Oh, sorry. So when you get here, let me open just. I'm gonna come here. No, let's just put it here because I don't want to lose them. So we can gonna choose this. So what does the term IP stand for? So it's an internet protocol. I'm gonna make you see it here. Let me see where I'll see that. The name. Internet protocol. So you're gonna hear and copy, or can you can write it, you decide. And come here and put it over here. Okay. Nope. Something get wrong. Okay, let's go see. I understand what I did. What it is? Okay. At this point, I write it. Okay. Okay. What does the term IP stand for? Internet Protocol. Check. That's right. What is the section of IP address called? You don't remember, right? So we come here and let me show octet. I'm gonna try to copy here because I don't want to. Okay. Control V, check. That's right. What is each section of the IP address called? Octet. How many sections in the digits does IPv4 address have? So we can see it's 4, but let me show you 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can go see and make it 4 and check. That's right. What does the term MAC stands for? So we have seen here MAC. Media, you can see it here, MAC address, MAC, media access control. Oops. Let's copy. And let's put it here. Oops. Nope. Let me have it a minute. So Okay, what's the term MAC stands for? Media Access Control, check. That's right. Here we put the flag that we have it. Deploy the interactive lab using view site about spoofing your MAC address to access the site. This is the flag. This is the practical exercise, so we're going to check now. Let's see, that's correct. And that is the task 3 about identify the devices on the network on the site Try Hack Me. I'm Cristina Fernandez, and I'll see you in the next text. Thank you. Bye.